Like much of its surroundings, the ancient Far East was a compilation of independent states, each vying for power and dominance. Divided by conflicting interests and ambitions, these separate entities existed in a landscape marked by diverse cultures and constant tensions. Each corner of the fragmented land bore witness to a series of struggles for control over its own as well as the neighboring lands. But this power dynamic was about to change, and the Chinese landscape would forever be altered. Hello, and welcome to Impactful Moments, where we explore some of the most, you guessed it, impactful moments in human history. In this video, we will discuss the unification of China, a seismic shift that reshaped the geopolitical and cultural landscape of Eastern Asia. Also, my American tongue will likely butcher many of the names throughout this video, so please give some leeway. As Chinese civilization began taking shape, early dynasties took rule. The Shang dynasty, from roughly 1600 to 1046 BCE, began the mastery of bronze metallurgy societal structures. Their legacy paved the way for the largely decentralized rule of the Zhou dynasty, the longest reigning dynasty in Chinese history. This dynasty was historically split into two periods over the centuries, one of relative stability from 1046 till 771 BCE, known as the Ji or Western Zhou, and one of accelerating collapse of royal authority from 771 to 256 BCE, known as the Dong or Eastern Zhou. The declining Eastern Zhou was further sectioned into the transformative eras of the Spring and Autumn period and the subsequent Warring States period. The Spring and Autumn period, from 770 till 476 BCE, marked the early decline of the Zhou dynasty. As the Zhou authority weakened, regional feudal lords gained significant power, heightening decentralization. This era witnessed a proliferation of military conflicts among various states, but also cultural and philosophical advancements, including those of Confucius. The transition from the Spring and Autumn period into the Warring State period, from 475 till 221 BCE, was characterized by increased militarization and the consolidation of dozens of regions into 7 major states: Qin, Han, Zhao, Wei, Chu, Yan, and Ci, each vying for dominance. While the Zhou dynasty was still technically in power, more practically, these states engaged in protracted warfare, striving for territorial expansion and supremacy. Strategies of statecraft and warfare became increasingly sophisticated, and tactical and strategic philosophies, such as Sun Tzu's The Art of War, were written, encapsulating military strategies and tactics adopted by leaders during this tumultuous period. In the final years of the Zhou's rule, one state began to make militaristic moves. Following decisive military victories, such as the Battle of Chanping in 260 BCE, one of the bloodiest pitched battles in human history, the state of Qin began asserting its dominance, separating itself as the strongest of the 7 states. Qin adopted the harsh and often brutal, yet effective, legalist philosophies of Han Feizi, which were largely implemented into the state by Shang Yang. In 256 BCE, King Chao Zhang of Qin defeated King Nan, formally conquering the western part of the Zhou dynasty, ending its official rule over China. His grandson, King Shengzheng, would ultimately conquer the remaining Zhou lands in 249 BCE, ending any semblance of their rule in the region. Following Shengzheng's death in 247 or 246 BCE, his ambitious son Yingzheng, who was just 12 or 13 years old, assumed the Qin throne. Guided by astute advisors like Prime Minister Li Si, Ying quickly established himself as a harsh yet effective ruler. By 238, he had eliminated political rivals, putting down several rebellions from dissenters. He then set his focus on establishing a unified China. Over the next roughly 2 decades, Qin, under the visionary leadership of their young king, embarked on a relentless series of strategic campaigns. Yingzheng's conquests began in 236 BCE with a strategic attack on Zhao while they were occupied in military conflict with the state of Yan. This attack captured 9 cities and dealt a significant blow to the Zhao military strength. Over the next years, Qin traded blows with Zhao, scoring several victories but also sustaining losses, including a significant defeat at the Battle of Fai. Fate shifted in Qin's favor when Zhao was hit with both an earthquake and famine. While Qin capitalized, it was still largely held to a stalemate, until the state bribed a Zhao minister to sow internal governmental discord, eventually leading to the execution of their general Li Mu. Sensing Zhao weakness following the turmoil, Qin attacked, taking the Zhao capital of Handan, capturing their king, and putting an end to the state in 228 BCE. While the state fell, the Zhao prince fled and established a much smaller state of Dai at the northeast of the former Zhao. Concurrent to the conquest of Zhao, Qin also sent a much smaller group to subdue the state of Han in 230 BCE, which it quickly did with little resistance. Concerned with the spread of Qin rule, Dan, the crown prince from the state of Yan, sent assassins to kill Ying Zheng, but they were discovered and killed in the failed plot. This prompted an invasion into Yan. In a series of victories, Qin took the territories, including the Yan capital of Ji, forcing the Yan royalty to retreat to the Liaodong Peninsula. While chased, Yan's king Si held off total destruction of the state by sending the head of his son, the crown prince Dan, to Qin as an apology for the assassination attempt, holding off an imminent further offensive. Turning their attention to Wei, Qin general Wang Ben made significant headway into their territory, but was faced with a challenge at the capital of Daliang. Aside for the typical walled protection, the city had natural defenses by rivers and canals. While the Qin laid siege to the city, General Wang Ben devised a plan to redirect the waters of the Yellow River to flood Daliang. After close to 100,000 people died from the flood, King Jia surrendered Wei over to the Qin. During the conquest of Yan, Ying Zheng was concerned about an enemy alliance with Chu and ordered the capture of a 10-city region at the north of the Chu state. After subduing Yan, Qin then turned their attention to the rest of the state. Two Qin generals disagreed on the army size that the Qin would require to take Chu, 600,000 or 200,000. Ying Zheng sided with General Li Xin, who led the smaller 200,000 manned army. Despite early victories, a strong Chu resistance and internal rebellion led to the destruction of the Qin forces. Ying Zheng, having apologized to Wang Jian, who had proposed the larger army, asked him to rejoin and lead the larger forces. With cunning military tactics, Qin was able to defeat the Chu army and conquered Shaochun, the Chu capital, in 223 BCE. Having most of the region under its control, Qin returned to the Liaodong Peninsula in 222 BCE to conquer the remaining Yan forces. It then did the same with the smaller Dai state that had formed from the former Zhao, leaving only the state of Qi from complete unification of the area. While Qi mobilized forces to meet Qin on the state's western border, the Qin army detoured and entered through the south, marching on Linzi, the Qi capital, with practically no resistance. Tianjian, Qi's king, surrendered without a fight in 221 BCE, and the whole of China had been unified. Ying Zheng changed his name to Qin Shi Huang, meaning the first emperor of Qin, the name by which he is better known today. The unification of China, led by Emperor Qin Shi Huang, brought about transformative changes in the societal landscape. The establishment of a centralized bureaucratic system supplanted the decentralized feudal structure of the preceding warring states period. Qin Shi Huang's implementation of a standardized legal code, administrative framework, and various facets of daily life, such as standardized weights and measures and a Chinese script, aimed at curbing regional autonomy, fostering a more efficient governance structure. Noteworthy infrastructure projects, including the construction of roads and canals, were initiated to connect different regions and facilitate transportation and trade. These endeavors not only improved logistical efficiency, but also reinforced the emperor's centralized control, ensuring swift troop movement when necessary. Despite these accomplishments, social impacts were not always quite as accepted. The forced labor employment in colossal undertakings, such as large connecting sections of what is now known as the Great Wall and the Emperor's Mausoleum, led to many civilian deaths, generating widespread discontent. Additionally, Qin Shi Huang's draconian measures, such as the burning of books and live burials of scholars, created an atmosphere of fear and stifled dissent. The seeds of discontent contributed to the Qin's eventual downfall, redividing the land, yet the unification set a precedent for a united China. Subsequent dynasties, like the Han, would follow suit, maintaining the territorial unity that Qin Shi Huang had established. This prolonged period of unity played a pivotal role in bringing together diverse cultures, fostering a sense of shared identity and continuity that endured even through the subsequent cycles of fragmentation and reunification in Chinese history. The unification of China under Emperor Qin Shi Huang had enduring impacts that have reverberated through history. One of the most significant legacies is the very concept of a unified China. Qin's consolidation of diverse regions set the stage for a millennia-long trend of imperial rule, shaping the nation's political landscape and setting the precedent of unity that, despite several hiccups along the way, has endured until today. The unification and subsequent Qin rule over the next decade and a half has also provided history and our modern world with some of the most fascinating and mysterious man-made marvels that can still be seen today. These include significant stretches of the Great Wall, initially built for protection from invaders, and Qin Shi Huang's terracotta army in Xi'an, showcasing the Qin dynasty's lasting marks on history. The prevailing theory is also that the name China itself even finds its roots in the Qin dynasty. Largely referred to as Zhenghua in its native tongue, the anglicized pronunciation is largely believed to have stemmed from Qin, often pronounced as Sin or Qin in Western dialects. If you enjoyed this video and found it informative, please consider liking and subscribing to our channel. Your support helps us to continue creating captivating, impactful, historical content. Thanks for watching.